Alright, I had a question sent to me about how I managed to get one of JB's new canopies to fit on my Pantera here. So first thing I did was make relief cuts on both sides for the links in order to get the links to fit. Then I had to make a relief cut where the pipe comes up front also to get to fit. And as you can see, the pipe actually comes inside the canopy, and thus the relief cut was needed. Otherwise it pushed the canopy in too far and made it impossible to get the rear mounts off. So those are the two modifications I had to do to the canopy. Unfortunately, in making this one, it did crack the canopy some, so I'll apply a little thin CA to try and keep the crack from spreading any further. On and off is push the button and just kind of pull them and give them a slight wiggle, and they, generally speaking, come out fairly easy. There's the two up front, or the back. The front ones are a little more difficult, and you got to push the button and actually pull the pins in order to get the front of the canopy off, based off of the size of the mounts that I'm using in the front. So once those are pulled, then off comes the canopy. Here's a good view of that relief cut that I had to make, where the original canopy came like this. So that's the relief cut there. As far as the Booya mounts themselves, what I ended up doing was in the back, these guys are the T-Rex 700s, both front and rear, the T-Rex 700 ones. I think the 600s are the same. They measure about 27.2 mils here in the back. Then I took some aluminum rod and cut those down to 3 millimeters and drilled a hole in the center for both sides to move the mounts out just a little bit further. And if I remember right, I had to use a little bit longer grub screw in order to make that accommodation for that 3 mils there. That pushed the mounts out and made the rear of the canopy fit much better. In the front, I did nothing other than screw them on. And so those are the two major modifications I had to do. Make my own mount here, and if I was to do this all over again and spend money, I'd buy the T-Rex 700s for the front and the Synergy ones for the Synergy N5 in the back, as the Synergy N5s measure almost 30 mils, which is basically what I have here. As you might be able to see, that's about 30 mils in total length. So I'd go with the Synergy N5s in the rear. So that's how I did my RC Booya mounts. The only other thing that I did is put some of the heli dry fluid on these pins to make them slide in and out of the rubber grommets a little bit easier. So that's how I did it, and I hope that helps you out.